scrapping off of the vetting of IDs in the border counties by President William Samoei Ruto was a grand mistake by then. But did he dare listen while other leaders were telling him that that's a wrong move? As we speak, the United States of America is denying so many Kenyans visas as a cause of that scrapping off of the vetting, because it is easier for terrorists to travel to other countries and commit heinous acts through Kenya. How? Just find yourself in the northeastern region, do whatever you can do to enter in Kenya, and alas, there you are. You can acquire a Kenyan ID, and after acquiring a Kenyan ID, you will acquire a visa to a particular country that you want to visit. It will be easy peasy. Now, what is going to happen to those other countries is that when terrorists invade them, their activities will be halted. You know, dealing with terrorists isn't an easy task, and no country wants to find itself in that situation. In this case, the Americans, and that is why they are denying Kenyans visas. But William Samoei Ruto, does he dare listen whenever Kenyans are advising him? You know, we have a president who thinks he is more intelligent than over 43 million Kenyans, a president who thinks he is the most studied, he is the professor, he's the doctor of everything, know it all, so to say, and nobody dare advises him. It is him who only holds the vision of Kenya becoming Singapore and not other Kenyans. So, according to him, those who actually go against or criticize his moves are people who are myopic in vision. That is what President William Samoei Ruto is trying to insinuate in this case, per se. Anyway, vetting scrapped off. Right now, the US are saying no visas for Kenyans. And if you talk to the persons who are actually applying for these visas, especially in the USA, they'll tell you it's true. The denial of visas is on high rate as compared to before William Samoei Ruto became the president. How else are you supposed to prove that you are a Kenyan? Because the president scraps off the vetting of IDs. We have persons coming into Kenya. They acquire these IDs. They travel to other countries and maybe they commit acts that are indecent, thereby tarnishing the name of our beautiful sovereign nation, Kenya. How are we going to help the situation? Back in March last year, when President William Samoei Ruto was scrapping off the vetting of IDs, various leaders, including George Natembeya, told President William Samoei Ruto that these will have an adverse effect on Kenyans. I even remember Gachagua Mushomba telling President William Samoei Ruto and Kenyans that scrapping off the vetting of IDs in the border counties will make us as Kenyans not be legitimate. How? When other people look at us, they will be doubting if really you are a Kenyan. That ID you will be providing will be scrutinized, but they tell you that's not enough to prove that you are a Kenyan. Why? Our borders shall have been porous. And recently, we saw the 14 and 17-year-old boys who stepped on a Kenyan flag after the game of Kenya Police versus Mogadishu FC. Now, it was established that those two were in the country illegally. meaning they traveled from Somalia, entered Kenya, and there they were. What if also they attained the age of 18 and wanted an ID? They would simply get it because vetting has been scrapped off. They have family maybe around, and that would easily aid them in acquiring the IDs. President William Samoei Ruto is one president who has actually employed so many advisors so that he can advise them, not vice versa, which should be the norm. Now, tell me, we as Kenyans, how else are we going to prove to these embassies that we are Kenyans of goodwill, we are original Kenyans of good intentions? Because you provide an ID, it is not enough. Maybe even a birth certificate will be not enough. Because as it seems, all these could be acquired. And the reason as to why President William Samoei Ruto is doing all this is to the benefit of his re-election. Because again, allegedly, it is said that President William Samoei Ruto wants to have so many persons registered as voters in the northeastern region, and rumors has it that over 3.5 million have already been registered against a population of 2.4. So within these few years, from 2022 up to this 2025, the people in the northeastern region have given birth and reached over 1 million people who again have grown up within this little time to 18 years. There are some calculations that are not, tallying. And Junet again once said, and I highlighted this in one of my videos, that the Somali community in the northeastern region, or the northeastern region, will be a deciding voter. All that talk is not for nothing. Remember, in politics, every single word a politician speaks is not by chance. It is by design. Whenever names are mentioned, whenever characters are brought to book, something is behind it. We have a president who thinks he's the only one who was the manual of riding and driving this country to a direction who knows a set for himself. What's your take on this? What do you think about this issue of scrapping the vetting of IDs, and now countries are seeing as a threat because Kenya is becoming an entry point to where terrorist criminals will be passing through to their countries? Give me your take in the comment sections below. And if you love watching content of this nature and you're watching from our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press the notification button so anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. Ahmed Khalif is my name for the unscripted talks here in Dub Radio. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Dub Radio ndio mpango mzima.